Hey, who says you don't have a striker when you go on a road trip? Hey, prospect.
Hey, I'm looking for a job. Who's hiring?
Hey, prospect, scrub that bitch. Come on.
I got it.
You can do better than that.
I care.
Come on, prospect.
I care.
Where's your leather jacket that says prospect? I think it's in the back of the truck, isn't it?
I'm not a prospect anymore.
You got a great fucking t-shirt on there, man. So here we are, stopped in Fort Myers. We're washing the fucking grime off this thing. She's a dirty girl. She's a black beauty usually. And she looks really nice in the sun. It shines purple, green, red. It's like an amethyst under the black paint. It's really, really a nice truck. I bought her brand new. She's a beautiful, beautiful vehicle. Got her before I retired. And yeah, she's a nice truck. All right. Well, just remember, that's Chris. And I'm Kenny, and you're not. Have a great day here, everybody. Luciahatchee Nature Trail with Brian Vollmer,
You know what you should go
Chris
see while we're
Jolke.
down here?
What are we going to
Go
see?
the Edison House.
Edison House.
With the
Sounds
big
like
tree in
sounds like
front
a
of it.
blast.
Huh? There's some big trees in front of it. You can walk. They're the size of a house.
Yeah, but the most amazing thing down there is the laboratory.
Oh, nice. Oh, that'd be worth seeing. Definitely worth seeing. You know what Chris and I were able to do today, Brian?
What?
We were able to read into the future. And in our future tonight is a jam night at Stet Howland's Bar.
Just never know.
Because tonight's jam night at Stet's.
Oh yeah.
We should definitely go on down there. So we're at Downtown Pizza. We got some great supreme pizza. We got local lager made right here,
Fort Myers.
just in time beer from Fort Myers, Florida. We're having an absolute blaster. Look at that delightful piece of pizza and that beautiful golden beer. And it's got a great taste. What would you say? Is it a winner?
Oh yeah. It's
We
likable.
got a winner!
It's a likable beer.
Yeah, we are in the village. We are in. Where are we right now?
We're in Siesta Key, Florida,
Siesta Key,
USA.
Florida, USA. This is called the Hub. We're looking for a place called the Cottage. Is it? We got live music all over down here. Lots of people down here. It's about 75 degrees here right now. Beautiful sunshiny skies today. Not a cloud in the sky. The sun's setting. It is gorgeous down. We're going to check out this place called the Cottage. I hear the food here is off the hook. We're going to check it out. We'll let you know.
Arr, matey, have you ever been to sea before?
Aye, I need some bait fish.
I think I see some in the
My
harbor.
back is killing me.
I hope you enjoyed those excerpts. Those are from Chris's and my trip to Fort Myers, Florida. We went down initially to visit Brian Vollmer, the lead singer for the band Helix, who was on my record label, Indie Tunes Records. And we'd gone down to visit him. He's been the last few years saying, hey, you should come down for a visit. And I decided I was going to go down there. And last minute, gave Chris a call and said, hey, what are you doing, buddy? You want to go? Uh-oh, there goes my camera screwing up. There we go. It wouldn't be a live show without bullshit like that happening. Oh, there we go. My USB camera unexpectedly started. So there we go. I mean, anything can happen when you go live. So we got to switch back over here. We got to switch over to try and find my USB camera, because now it doesn't want to read it. There we go. Nope. That's my studio. We're still waiting here. No, we don't have a camera yet. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Michael on here for a second. Save the show. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, what'd you do?
I don't know.
I had my gremlins, and now
Oh,
it's
this
your
before
turn.
the show, wasn't I? Holy shit.
That's all right. That's all right. We can hear you, so that's good. So I was watching those videos. It was great because, I missed you by a couple of days. I would have met you in Florida. Dave was
When you
so
do a
nice.
live show.
Yeah, exactly. Dave invited us down there to Florida as well, and we were able to go around and tour around in Fort Myers, which was wonderful. Thank you, Dave, if you're listening. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome down there. There's no doubt about that. I'm just gonna see if I can get my video to work now.
Okay, keep it
Maybe got
going.
my USB camera back here. Hang on a second. Hey, there we go, right there. All right.
All right.
Well, that was stupid. Hey,
Okay.
shit happens when you do a live show, though, right?
Hey, there we go. That's right.
Hey, we were talking about that just before the show.
Yep.
So some cool stuff there. I said you could ask those two guys that proverbial question: why do we ship in trucks but send cargo by ship?
Ships. Yep. Yeah,
We were talking about that before the show.
It's a great question. We had a lot of those.
I said weird shit like that keeps me awake at night.
That's right.
And the other proverbial one that really disturbs me is, why we park on driveways and drive on parkways. That just makes no sense to me whatsoever.
It makes zero sense. And then I brought up the pigeon. Why have you? I've never seen a baby pigeon in my life. Why is that?
Right.
Why?
And we were talking about how. Okay, does anybody know this one? How does a male bird fertilize the female egg? Inquiring minds want to know. Now, apparently they have kind of a same part.
Yeah.
Right?
Really weird.
Yeah, a cloacal, CLOACAL, cloacal kiss, where he mounts the female and aligns his cloaca, which is a multi-purpose opening.
Yep.
God.
Pretty sexy, eh?
Well, I wonder. Okay, it says multi-purpose. Now that begs another question. What purposes does that orifice serve?
All right, now we're going down a path that
we're down a rabbit hole.
Hitting a rabbit hole here. I do want to bring up something though. I'm going to go back to your video. Great video, by the way. It was fun watching you guys, and I said I wish we could have met up with you, but. Brian was telling you guys when you were walking through the forest area, that kind of like that area there where you're talking about going to see the home from Ford and
Edison.
So we went and did that. Dave brought us out there to go check it out. It was absolutely amazing. And Brian wasn't kidding when he was talking about the labs, how that's one of the most intriguing things to see. And it was unbelievable to see everything still in its natural form, where Edison was thinking. The drafting tables were there, all the test tubes, when they were testing trees to make rubber, and it was just unbelievable to experience.
And you said like everything was as if something had just happened, like they had vanished from the earth and they left everything just as it was in that moment.
It was one of the most incredible moments sharing that with the guys down there, and it was what an experience. It was so beautiful and it was awesome. So did you go in, or you got?
No, we did not go. It was a funny trip. We ended up going for the beach and hanging out and just chilling and relaxing in the sun as much as we could.
Right.
And we had a couple of late nights too. I mean, we had jam night at Stet's, like that first night I mentioned that to Brian when we were on the trail. Yeah. And, I think by the time we got home and had our bottle of wine before we hit the sack that night, it was like 3 o'clock or 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, lots of nights like that. You know what I did? For the very first time, I sang karaoke. The very first time ever in my life, I sang karaoke. Dave gave me the courage to go up there and sing something that I'm totally terrified to do. Here I am, a musician, play on stage, hundreds of people, whatever, but karaoke, could never do it. And I went up and I sang "Life is a Highway."
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I'm so glad Dave got me to go and do that because I would have never done it. I would have just backed out and said, as usual, forget it. I'm
Right.
not doing it.
It's funny because when we were at Stats bar for the 13th, so that was Friday the 13th in February, when Ari and his band of brothers played there,
Yeah,
pretty tied up, and that was a Guns N' Roses tribute. And after the show, we all went to Stet's bar, which is the front part of it, which is like a little hole in the wall bar,
right.
and we sang karaoke.
That's so cool. See, now,
Yeah.
was that your first time, or you've done it before?
I've done karaoke a couple of times before. It was really funny because one of my favorite songs to sing always, if I got a chance at karaoke, was "Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day."
Oh, right on. Yeah, that's a good one.
And I remember I did it one time at a conference. This is the weird thing. I was at this healthcare conference, and they had karaoke.
Oh, okay.
And nobody was signing up, to do the karaoke. And I thought,
Right.
I'll go up and do something. So I decided to do "Rock and Roll All Night, Party Every Day."
Was that fun or
Well,
what?
I had everybody up on the dance floor.
Cool.
It
Very
was
cool.
fun. It was fun. Everybody got up and danced to it, because I was sort of like this enigma. Here's all these like professionally dressed healthcare people at the show, and here's me with my long hair, right? The long do going on, and I don't look anything like the role I should be in, right?
Mhm.
I was working in healthcare for the provincial government at the time, and here I'm at this conference, and I get a chance to sing karaoke, and nobody knew who I was really,
Right.
but by the end of the night, they all did.
Yeah, that's great. It's amazing how much the crowd will support you no matter what. And it's awesome. I had a great time, and
It was,
it was a great experience.
yeah, it's a great experience, and if you've never done it, it is a lot of fun to do. By the way,
For sure.
so tonight we're going to talk about all things independent music, things that you know, things you don't know, things you wish you knew, and then the things you just wish you could forget. Right?
Right, exactly.
So I'm going to let you sort of lead the way here tonight. You just fire away a question. I guess I'm supposed to be the resident expert tonight.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I think the reason why is because this is a really good topic for someone like in my position, who's the artist, who's writing material or going out there and want to make a name for myself or making a name for the band that we're presenting. And we defer to someone like you in this area where you're more of the expertise of covering the back end of a lot of things and a lot of things that will help give us the exposure that we need and the right following and the right venues to ways to do things. So basically what I'm saying is attention is the game, right? Like recording is 20%, but attention to what we're doing is about 80%. A lot of great songs fail because no one hears them, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like have you ever seen the movie Failure to Launch?
Yes. Yeah.
Primary example, right? Of the things that people could do better than they do now.
Right. Well, the hardest part is visibility. I mean, as an artist, promoting the band or promoting the song before release. And that brings me to my very first question for you.
Okay.
So what's the biggest mistakes artists make after releasing a song?
Oh boy, there's a lot of them. One is not having the song properly mastered for the format that you're going to have people listen to on.
Right.
So there's a very specific mixing and mastering process for tracks that you want people to listen to on small form factor. And I mean small form factor, I mean an iPhone, an Android, or whatever, because about 90% of the music being listened to these days is listened to on a device like a phone.
Right.
So that's one thing that I think people always have to pay attention to. And not everybody understands that mastering process right?
Right.
Don't just listen to it through, through your reference monitors in your studio, right?
Hmm.
Take an MP3, chop it down, and go listen to it in your truck or your car,
Right.
right? Drop it on your phone and listen to it off your phone through your earbuds. Make sure that the song has enough dynamic range to be heard well, and that there are certain frequencies that maybe need to be calmed out a little bit in that track. When you think about all the time that you put into writing a song and then getting the performance down right and learning it before you go in the studio, the other piece is how well you produce it.
Right.
Right.
That's so
that would be,
important.
I think that would be the first thing, right? And that's something that I think you're really good at doing, right? You're one of those musicians that you care about playing your part really well, and then making sure that the recording is capturing the attitude that you're looking for from your performance,
Right.
right?
Well, I've always been one of the philosophy of, when I'm learning something, even my own song or my own composition, or
Right.
if I'm adding a part to a song on another artist, or even learning a song, like I don't practice to get it right. I practice and so I never get it wrong, right? And I work really hard at trying to perfect, even in my own writing. Like there's always editing. You're constantly editing, when you're putting a composition or a song together, whether it's by structure, how the song flows, whether you're going to add a pre-chorus or whatever you're going to do, even if you're not running it, like you always want to practice over and over again. And that perfection needs to be brought with you when you do go into the studio.
Right.
Because,
So CQI,
yes.
right? Continuous quality improvement. Always looking at how you can raise the bar on what you've done previously. And I think that's a mistake that artists make, is that, you set your own bar.
Right.
Right? You set your own bar for your performance. You set your own bar for the recording itself. If you're doing it yourselves, or even if you're paying for time in studio, make sure that you're working with a producer that's going to bring out the best in what you do.
Right.
I mean, that's the important part of getting the track. So, there's some things that I look for as a record label, and it's like, is the song well written? Right? Is it well performed? Is it well recorded, and is it well produced? Those are like 4 kind of acid sort of test things that I look at when I'm looking at people bringing me music. Now, the other mistake that I think people make which is, and again, I don't know if it's a mistake or whether it's just something that people could improve on. I like to take it more to the positive route and say, it's not a mistake. It's something you could just do better.
Right.
And what I find is that everybody works so great on the product, right? But the other pieces of the product, which is the artwork, there's not as much thought that goes into the artwork as there is that goes into the creating of the tracks. What is with that?
I don't know.
Why is that not important?
It's so important. The illustrations of what you're going to put out there, like whether it's a single, which is the way we want to do that now, is you want to put out these singles, even with those singles. So you want to make sure that the illustration of the artwork, or whatever it's going to be, it's going to really represent. It's going to be impactful, right? It's just like when you do, sizzle reels and stuff like that. You want to make sure it's very impactful. It has something to say, and
and I think that it has something to say, and I want to expand on what you're saying, that the artwork has something to say. Right. It has something to say about the product that's inside, right? Yes. The visual needs to tell part of the story behind the track. So if there's, if there's sadness in that track,
right,
and that is the key theme of it, is it's okay to be sad, or it's okay to be melancholy once in a while in our lives. And sometimes it's okay to lament and sing a song about it. Yeah. So then the artwork should kind of reflect what I think is inside there.
Right.
And a lot
And
of
that's
people don't give thought to the artwork.
no, because you're not looking deeper into your own song, into your own material. Sometimes you write, on an impulse. This hook is great. Now let's just write a whole song around this hook or this riff, right? And
Right.
then you do that, but there's no development. It's just, it sounds hooky, it sounds good. We'll put it, we'll do the master way of writing a song, and then when we're done, we'll just release it. Boom, we got
Right.
a song. And
Yeah.
you're not putting the depth into it. So now it's like, that's why I'm not a great lyricist. I mean, I'm working on it, and I'm always continuously improving how to write lyrics.
Right.
And that's where I'm constantly learning, because I'll come up with a melody in my head. I mean, I've had melodies wake me up in the middle of the night, and I got to just start working on it.
Right.
And from there, I always give every melody or every idea or a song that I work on, I always give it a name. I have to name it something, whether it's going to be temporary or not. I have to name it because it's capturing the emotion of what I'm feeling when I write it. And then from there, you go into it, right?
I think a good one to have on here, and I think we should try. We'll try and get these guys on here. Would be our friends over at Walker Crown.
Okay.
Because I think that's something that that those guys do together. They collaborate on writing the lyrics for the song.
Right.
They collaborate on the music for the song, um, and I really find that um, that those guys, both Connor and Jordan have a system worked out in terms of writing. They said they were going to watch the show tonight, so I'm not sure if they're there or not. If you haven't joined us in the chat room, come on over and join us in the chat room. Never miss a comment. That's right. Never miss a comment. Click on chat message to display it on screen. So I just want to let you guys know that there it is right there. We'll check your comments. If there's something that we want to, if you got a question for us, feel free to ask, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, you're doing all this great stuff, have a great production, have artwork that's very descriptive of what's in the package.
Right.
And don't skimp on it. I mean, and try not to, if you can, try not to use AI.
That's the trick, right?
Right? Try to use something. For example, Lights Come On is a new single that's out by the guys at Walker Crown.
Mm-hmm.
And their art guy was a little bit behind on the project. So we decided to put out a substitute artwork just so we could make the release date.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we ended up doing was we ended up putting out the song with some artwork that I created for it because of the time constraints we were up against.
Gotcha.
And so Lights Come On is actually taken by a friend of mine, George Rosema, who's a photographer down near Sarnia, Ontario. And George had a great picture of the Borealis.
Oh, nice.
And so we took that photograph, which is like greens and yellows and whatnot. It's really kind of a cool thing. And I'm not sure if this will let me share. So if I can find something, let me share. Oh, well, let me share a screen. I don't know if it'll let me share a tab or not. Let me see. Share. I'm not sure. Share screen. Oh, okay. It will let me share a window. So I'm gonna go to grab a window here,
Sure.
and put some artwork up here, and then we can talk about that. So yeah, I mean the artwork is really important, but I think when you put all those things together, and we talked about this before the show. You asked me the question, like, what kind of mistakes do you see people making, right?
Right. Like what are the mistakes that artists are making when they think it's like the release strategy. They don't do that properly, right? And I want to know if we can touch into that, because it's so important to really follow how to release a song. A lot of artists don't understand that.
Yeah, I think one of the things is that we could zoom out to 20,000 feet here, and really take a look at it from outside and then into the universe of releasing music.
Right.
Because to me it's a whole different universe to itself, and you have to really think outside the box. At least I think you have to think outside the box.
Right.
And I'm trying to find, there they are right there. Lights come on. There's the artwork final there. Huh. So I don't know if it'll let me share it or not. We'll see. No, it's not letting me do it. I don't know why. Anyway,
Okay. But I guess that's what I'm kind of leading towards, is that release strategy. Because if you drop a song without a runway, then it disappears in like 48 hours. It's gone.
Right.
And dead in the water. We've had these discussions many times, and that's one of the things that me as an artist, I've always want to make sure I never have that happen again. It's like learning from those errors and knowing where I can go from there to make sure that I'm proactive to not ever have something like that happen again.
Right.
Because it's such a great song. Like you said, you put all the work into it and then you don't release it properly and it's gone. It doesn't matter what we do with it now. It's
That's
gone.
right. I'm going to see if I can find, right now I'm just sharing my screen here, but I'm going to see if I can find I don't think, is it letting me put this up or not? When I put this up, can you see that?
No.
You're not seeing it.
No.
Yeah. Wait a minute. It was there for a second. Why is it not now? That is weird. That is just strange weird. Nothing's working like it should tonight. So you're not seeing that, right?
No.
Well, isn't that that's a bummer. All right. Well, I can't share it, but let me see. The artwork for it is this photograph that George took, and so when they sent that to me, we talked about the song. We talked about the release strategy, and the release strategy to me is where a lot of things fall down. That
Right.
there isn't a strategy talked about in terms of how are we going to go about releasing this single? What's the lead time for it? Who's going to do what? Right. And how are you going to incorporate that into your workflow? As an artist, you've got to incorporate that into your workflow.
Right. It's an orchestration, right? There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to releasing a song. It's not just, well, we recorded it, now let's just put it on YouTube or whatever. There's so much that needs to be done beforehand if you really are serious about moving your song forward and getting it heard from a lot of people.
Right. And I think that's the important thing is that as you decide you're going to release a song, you need to come up with some sort of release strategy. And that's not always just what the artist is going to do either.
No.
Right?
No.
It's, what are we going to do together? What are the things that we're going to do together to make this successful? Because it doesn't all fall on the artist and it doesn't all fall on the label either. So there it is right there.
Okay, it's coming up.
Right?
Oh, there you go.
So that was an example of it. And this is a photograph that George took of the Aurora Borealis, and I thought it was kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
And we decided to use it for the song "Lights Come On."
Very nice.
It gives you a sense of kind of what that is all about. I'm gonna see if I got to switch out of that now. Isn't that going to be fun? So I mean, it's one of those kinds of things that you have to switch out. So I'm going to put you and I back on the screen. Hopefully we can. There we go.
There, you're back.
I don't know why it was doing that. It was being difficult. Now I can't. Now it wants to do me and it and not even you. And there we go.
There we go. I see me, but I don't see you. So.
Yeah, well, every time I switch over to me and to you, it doesn't want to do anything. I'm trying to get rid of the image. It won't let me get rid of the image. Cancel that. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Let's see. See?
Yeah.
I try and switch it, and then I switch it, and then it comes me and you and me and you and it. and it doesn't want to let me leave it from the screen. So I'm trying very desperately to figure out how to get rid of this stupid thing that I
That's okay.
shared, and now it's not,
Well, while you're
whatever.
doing that, I mean, I
Yeah.
can kind of give you my little bit of an input on that about release strategy, and one of the things I was thinking about is what's, we don't always have the answers as artists, but there are things that us as artists can do. And
Right.
we can do a lot of teas before the release. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do with that. We can, do pre-save campaigns. We can do, visuals, whether they, little quick snippets, as we move closer to the release date. With the band talking live, as a joke, joking around, laughing, saying, "Hey, we got this song coming out." You can do sizzle reels, you can do shorts. There's a lot of things as an artist that we can do. Lyric videos are great too, and we've done that.
Right.
And those are really good to have. If you have an email list, to send out those email blasts, those call to actions, that we can do as artists to make sure that the song's going to be released properly and everyone's going to be ready, whether it's doing a pre-save in the Spotify or wherever that the campaign is going to take us to. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stagger content that you can do.
Yeah, and the thing that I talk about when I'm talking about releases with people, and I'm still trying to get rid of this thing, and I have
That's
no
okay.
idea why it's doing it. It's being a pain in the butt. Um, the interesting thing is the um, interplay between the label and the artist. Now, if you're doing this all by yourself and it's a DIY project, that's a whole lot different thing,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right? And then you know communication amongst the band, especially if it's a band doing the release, then to me that's a really important thing as well, right?
Absolutely.
Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to change to make it work where everyone's involved?
Right.
And what is the role of each member of the band going to be in terms of the release? Is one guy going to carry all the weight, or is the whole band going to carry the weight?
Yeah. And that can happen, right? You may have someone in the band that's a little more computer savvy, or you got some guys who are just not into any of that. But you can kind of give them, you can work together and say, listen, we're going to post stuff on your page. From here, you do a share and you put your own links and stuff together. We'll show you how to do it, and get them to do their part, as well. There we go.
Right. Now
Good promo for them.
there we go. Get rid of that. Now we can get rid of it. Now it's going to say, but is it going to let me get rid of it? Of course it won't let me get rid of it. Isn't that just the dumbest
Well, the
thing
guys
ever?
over at Walker Crown are going to be happy, and that's okay.
They're going to be really happy.
Yeah.
They're going to be really happy because it's there. I can put you down there and put that
Just
up there. Ah,
whatever.
there we go.
Hey.
God. You know what? Here's the thing about Cloudware. When you do the thing with Cloudware, every week, these guys that run this Cloudware that I use for the broadcast,
Right.
they are the typical IT guys. If it's not broke, fix it anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Go for it.
And so the next week when you sign in, all the functionality is different than it was the week before.
It's like, why'd you touch it?
It was like upgrading to Windows 11.
Oh yes. The infamous Windows 11.
My computer is still not liking Windows 11.
No way.
And I even wiped my hard drive, backed up my hard drive, wiped my hard drive, and reloaded a fresh copy of Windows 11 on my computer because
Mm-hmm.
everybody I knew that did the switch over
Mm-hmm.
ran into trouble.
Uh-huh.
Something would stop working or
Yeah.
whatever,
Well, I had the same problem. I'm an avid flight simmer. I'm not sure if you know that, but I
No.
I have a whole like system here. If you can't see it, but it's right here beside me, and I flight sim with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've been doing it since '95, and I had a lot of problems switching from Microsoft 2020 to 2024 for the simulator because of Windows 11. And every time I tried to fix one problem, it took me two steps backwards. And eventually I had to just take my tower and just take it to my tech over at PC Outfitters out here in Windsor. And I just tossed it on their counter. I said, either fix it or burn it. I need to get this thing working. And I was getting so tired of it. And I'm like, how much?
So you use a flight simulator?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been.
What kind of planes do you fly?
Everything from, your private, single engine aircrafts up to the corporate jets, even up higher into the big birds, the commercial aviation.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing it for a very, very long time. It's another passion of mine. It's
Do you have your
music and
pilot's
aviation.
license? Do you have your pilot's license?
No, and I get asked that a lot. It's just one of those hobbies that are really, you really got to justify it.
I have a treat for you. I'm going to see if I can get you an invite to this really cool event. And after the show, remind me.
Sure.
And I'll put you in touch with this guy, and we'll see, because I'm not going to be here this summer. So I need somebody to take my place and be my eyes and ears there.
Sure. Anything that has to do with aviation, I'm in.
It's definitely to do with aviation, and you will be blown away.
Sure. Sounds great. We'll talk about it.
All right.
Yeah.
So getting back to the topic at hand here. So that 20,000, foot view is what are you doing to release it? Because if you don't have a release strategy, you're going to be somewhat lost in terms of putting your song out there.
Right. And that happens.
Yeah. Right. And something I said tonight that we were going to do was we're going to talk a little bit about what you can do, what I can do, and what, your followers, people that follow you,
Exactly.
and people that are interested in what you do, either follow you on social media or they follow you other places. And what can they do to help you with your music?
That's right. A lot of algorithm love.
Yeah. So I mean, and there's three things I say four things, but three things for sure. Okay. So Spotify is about discovery, reach, and engagement.
Right.
Those are really the three main functions of Spotify. Everybody is, cries about Spotify and how Spotify doesn't do this and how Spotify doesn't do that and how they rip off the artist and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But I mean, Spotify is only one of number streaming services that sets the remuneration rate for rights holders. So let's get that straight. The people that get paid are the people who actually own the publishing.
Right.
Right. So again, these are things that people don't necessarily do right. So if you are the publisher of your own song, if you wrote it or you share the writing credits with somebody else, you got to make sure you register that song.
Right.
As belonging to you and whoever else wrote it. And if that person is not a member of a performance rights organization, they can't even be assigned royalties.
That's right.
Right? You can put their name on there as a contributor, but they will never receive a penny of royalties until they register with the same organization.
Correct.
So you have to have the song registered for publishing and writer's rights. The second is you want to have it published for mechanical rights. So ownership of the mechanical rights to the song. So if somebody wanted to re-record your song, they would have to approach you to negotiate a rate. Or if your song is purchasable through a licensing organization, then someone could purchase the rights to be able to use your song, re-record it if they like it, and they can buy the mechanical rights.
Correct.
But only if you have it registered.
What's that?
Only if you have it registered.
Right.
Right. The other thing is that if you are also is there someone on a TV in your background?
There might be.
Yeah, I can hear some guy talking in the background. I'm like,
that might be my mom. I'm actually upstairs watching TV. That's not on mine.
Funny. That's funny.
I'm glad you can hear it because I got my headset on, so I won't hear that.
Yeah, it was. I could hear something in the background. Some guy talking, like a commentator. I knew.
Yeah, we're gonna get that fixed.
I knew that wasn't your voice.
No, ventriloquist. One of my other passions.
That's funny. All these things that we learn about doing live performance too, right? Things
Right.
that affect us and don't affect us are really, really important in terms of, what we put out at the end of the day. So getting back to this whole release thing, there has to be a release strategy in place. How are you going to get people to follow you? So these are the practical things we're going to talk about right now, right?
Right.
For example, how many artists do a call to action where you do a short reel on Facebook,
Right.
on Instagram, and
Right.
you do a selfie just like I do for the Indie Show every week and go,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this is Kenny from Indie Tunes Records. Join us Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of the Indie Show with my special guest and co-host, Michael Muscat, right?
Right.
So I have to do that off the hook every week. Boom, 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 boom. And if you learn to do that as a call to action and say, hey, I am so-and-so of so-and-so, and we want you guys to follow us on Spotify. Please follow us on Spotify. Click the link below and follow us, right? A call to action.
Right.
Getting people who like your music to follow you on places like Spotify. Why is that a big deal?
It's a huge deal.
Right. But
Because-
why is it a big deal?
Because you want to be able to have the artist, like you want your song to be saved, right? So and it's going to be listened to. I mean, really, it's as simple as that.
By people following you alone,
following you, that's right.
It pushes your music up in the playlist algorithms.
Right.
It pushes your music up in Spotify algorithms as suggested music. So, for example, if your music is like the Tragically Hip, right? Sounds like Spotify will suggest your music to the listener. If you sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan or whoever else, right? Sounds like it'll push you as a suggestion.
Right.
The more that people follow you on Spotify, the more it helps push your music and your library up in the algorithms.
Correct.
That's one thing. That's just an easy thing. And you can join Spotify for free. You don't even have to sign up to the premium subscription. Now, if you're going to stream music on any website, I would recommend Spotify because they got the largest library. Plus, they have some really great family deals. I think it's like, I don't know, $14.99 a month for family, for a family account. And you can assign those memberships out to family members, and you can all stream to your heart's content commercial free.
Right.
But even if you don't have a Spotify premium account, you can sign up for the basic free account, and you can still follow artists, and that counts.
It does count. It does count. And now, if I'm not mistaken, Ken, and I may be jumping ahead here, but saving a song is one thing, but you can also, I think it's good for your fans or your followers to add your song to their playlist as well, right?
That's right. That's right. And you can, and if you have other friends that you're friends with on Spotify, you can send out that playlist to your friends. You can copy the link to your playlist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're someone who loves a bunch of independent artists, and Michael Muscat is an independent artist, and someone's following Michael. They can add your music to their playlist and then share it on social media with their friends.
Right.
Right. So these are things you can do for free. It doesn't cost a penny to do it. A little bit of your time, and it's done. The other thing that anybody can do, including the artist, is that you can make a weekly reel talking about your music or talking about what you're doing in the studio or whatever.
Share a story.
Right. And you can use your music in the background.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
Right. I do that every week. Every week. Now when we were doing the promo on Scrap Metal for Helix, I was featuring a different track on every reel I was doing.
Nice.
And it was and every time that reel plays, if it's 30 seconds or longer, you're getting paid royalties every time that song gets played on your reel.
Wow.
So now you can earn royalties off doing reels. Now, if you get your followers to use your music in making their reels and put them in the background, I recommend a setting of somewhere between 25 and 30% volume. if you're a decently loud speaker. If not, adjust the volume accordingly so you can hear
Sure.
your voice. You want to hear your voice over and above the music, but have the music playing in the background, and people will hear the track. You're getting the track's getting monetized, so there's a cool thing,
Yeah,
right? And
absolutely.
Brian Boisimer says hi.
Oh, Brian Boismere. Went to school
Yeah,
with him.
there you go.
Hey,
Hey,
Brian.
Brian.
Nice to see you, man.
If you join us in the chat room, we'll give you a mention. Chris Jolke's watching tonight.
Oh, okay.
He's being quiet there. I could bring him on camera, but I don't know. I don't know if that would work. We could talk a little bit about that Fort Myers trip and Siesta Key and
Right
Destin,
on.
Florida. Man, what a great way to spend nearly 3 weeks.
You were out there for a while.
Oh, and the thing about it is that, while I'm doing this stuff, I continually think about stuff. And I said to you, there's always stuff that, I think about that nobody else thinks about.
Yeah.
Again, how do you get Teflon to stick to a pan when nothing sticks to Teflon?
Yeah, exactly.
So those are the things that keep me awake at night. Another thing that keeps me awake at night is again, these things that people can do that are so easy to help themselves or help artists
Yeah.
have their music heard. So you can use an artist's music in your reels and have it at a volume below what you're talking about and actually share the artist's music. And it's another great way to get the artist's music heard.
Yep.
And as long as the reel is 30 seconds or longer, the artist is actually going to earn royalties off those plays.
Right. And they can use any platform. I mean, they can use TikTok. They can use whatever they want.
The music is published on all of those services, Snapchat as well. It's published on Instagram. I say the two biggest audiences are between Facebook and Instagram. And if you set up your account so you can cross-post, that's good for some things, but some things don't always cross-post really well across Instagram. So you always got to watch your accounts.
Right.
And so those are other things that I think that people can do.
Yeah.
Is to be a little more present on their social media.
Yeah, and I think they even commenting will help. Not just liking it, just clicking a like. You should comment too as well. Helps.
What always behooves me is the artist that's got 17,000 followers, but they only ever get 20 or 30 comments.
Right.
Why is that?
I think it's maybe that they're paying to have those followers. I mean, is it possible?
I think the followers are all organic, but I think one of the problems is with Facebook is that Instagram's a little bit different. I know that you can buy followers on Instagram.
I think YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, I think there's programs like that, but they aren't helpful in terms of being able to draw other people in.
Right.
They may give you some level of validity,
right?
But as soon as people find out that you've somehow paid for those likes or those followers or whatever it is you paid for, and there's telltale signs of that. Sometimes one of the telltale signs is the lack of interaction. Right. But a lot of times it's also the algorithm. So Facebook literally shuts down your algorithms to 25 of the most commonly interacted people, roughly 25. Okay. So you could have 17,000 followers, but there might only be 25 or 30 people who actually see the post. And remember, the post is fleeting.
Right.
So if you don't pin the post,
oh yes, it'll disappear.
It'll disappear in the feed. So you have to take a post that you want people to see, and you need to pin it. Because if you don't pin that post, you're likely going to run into some level of problem.
Right.
Right. And that can be, cannot be. That's never a good thing.
No. It's you basically want, bottom line, you as an artist, you want to have a community, right? Of followers,
that's
friends.
Right.
You want to have that community so that you can constantly, you can work with them and they get to know you, right? You're building that engagement.
I like the artists that sometimes do a short reel. They're barbecuing ribs.
Yeah.
And
completely
And
you
they,
know,
yeah,
personal.
something that's more personal to the artist, and something that you maybe want your fans or followers to know about you,
Yeah,
right? I like grilling, so here's something I'm doing right now,
yeah,
here's my recipe for my marinade down below,
yeah,
whatever it is, right?
yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
and you're playing your music in the background when you're
Yes,
doing the reel,
that's
right?
right. That's
So
right.
you're trying to find different ways to get engagement and interaction,
Hmm. We
right?
had a good one once. I had a good one with doing a blooper reel, which was fun. You know, you're
Yeah.
trying to create this dynamic video or you know, an ad, a promo, something to push it, and then you have that one. But then later on, you release the blooper version of that, and it really personalizes. It brings you closer to the audience, right? And
Yeah.
they get a kick out of it.
When we were down in Florida, I think I was posting stuff 2-3 times a day, right? When I'm up here, there's not much going on,
Right.
right? So it's hard for me to come up with content every single day, except when I'm talking about the show.
Hmm.
And then for this week's show, I did 2 different reels. I don't know if you noticed that. But
Yes.
there were 2 different reels that I used, and 2 different artists' music that I used in those reels.
Right.
And again, I try to feature artists that are on the record label, because it does 2 things, right? It raises an awareness about the artists themselves.
Yes.
It it allows us to earn some royalties off there. So if I get 1,000 plays on that reel, then that can be, 1,000 streams on that particular clip of that track, and
Right.
we get paid royalties on that.
And think about
So
that. It's so simple, you know. It doesn't have to be some big budget thing. You know,
no,
you're like you said, it's very personal because people are following people, not just the music. Once they get to know who you are, too, that you're engaging with your audience,
right,
they're going to hear, and you're always using your music as the tag. You know, you're running that always in the
yeah.
background, like you said, and it's just something that's so simple. You know, anything works. You can use
If you're
any
a
budget.
if you're a yoga instructor, if you're some kind of mindfulness instructor or whatever,
Hmm.
you could use music in the background of your reel or your video, right? And as long as you're using music that's available to you on the platform, then the licensing's already been secured for it,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So you could use an artist music that you support, an artist that you like, and you could use their music in the background, and they could earn royalties off your video if it goes viral.
It's brilliant.
These are just things that people don't think
Don't
about.
think about it. You don't
Uh,
think about it.
and again, if you're not having really, really good success because you don't put out enough content or enough reels, reach out to a content creator that does and get them to use your music in the background.
Right. So you're cross-pollinating yourself, right, with other people who are doing it. I mean,
Why not?
yeah, you don't have to
Why?
reinvent the wheel.
You really have to think outside the box,
Hmm.
right? And there's so many different things that an artist can do that doesn't cost you any money. It costs you a little bit of time,
Right. Well,
right?
there you go. It's all it is.
Yeah.
Consistency over perfection,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Uh,
what you want.
it's really hard sometimes to get people to make that little extra effort, right? And you got to really sometimes keep asking. Like, Mike Brandvold, who I've had on the show several times, he's a digital marketing expert from California.
Right.
And Michael says, it's your product. You have to keep asking people to buy it. You don't just ask them once,
That's right.
right? You need to keep coming at your audience
Hmm.
until you get them all engaged, because what the hell are they following you for if they're not going to support you?
That's right. And that brings me back to people follow the people, right? That's what you got. You've got a product, you've got music, your whatever your art is. You said it could be you could be a yoga expert, whatever it is. You need to engage constantly. The
I,
consistency is very important.
I had a few thousand followers before on my old account on Instagram. And before my daughter started helping me with my Instagram account, I'll swear this before everybody. Instagram is a younger person's game.
Mm-hmm.
It is not for guys like you and me,
No.
right? It takes, a millennial or a Gen Zer or someone like that to understand how Instagram really does work.
Right.
And Instagram has some real organic aspects to it. And I remember my daughter saying to me, Dad, just start a new account.
Start fresh.
And because she said, you've got thousands of followers, but half those people aren't on Instagram anymore, or they're not following you, or they have never interacted with you. She said, only get followers who are going to interact with you and work with you,
Right.
and build a network. Even if you only get 1,000 followers, if they're all engaged with you, you're doing well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And now I think my Instagram, I'd have to look at it and see where we are, but it's not very high.
Where you at?
I think my number is 232, something like that. Let me take a look here.
I don't have a lot on Instagram. I think I've got I don't even know, to be honest with you. I hardly ever use Instagram personally myself.
Right. I have 232 followers on Instagram, but I am now getting thousands of views on Instagram because those people are sharing my content.
Right.
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 So the cool thing about that is that even though oh God, maybe, I don't know, not even a tenth. Like, I think I had like 4 or 5,000 followers before on Instagram, and now only got 232, but I'm getting more engagement, interaction with 232 followers
Right.
than I did when I had like 5 or 6,000.
Yeah, well, that shows you how the engagement, how it's just how using the algorithm to be your friend, right?
Yeah, and the cross posting doesn't hurt. Like, I do a lot of cross posting off Facebook to Instagram, for those of you that don't know, I also have my dog's got an Instagram page.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
It's called Bobo Beans and Charlie Bear, the Golden Boys.
Right on.
And they're about the adventures of my 2 golden retrievers.
Oh, nice.
So I post content periodically, stuff that they're doing, stuff I'm doing with them, or something cute that they do. I think today I did one of my golden retriever. I taught him how to wave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he sits in front of me and I goes wave, and he does this.
Really?
Like the queen. Yeah.
Well, the retrievers are so smart. They're incredible. Love that breed.
Yeah, so he's learned how to wave, and so I think that's really cool. I'm thinking about trying to get him on one of my shows, like one of my reels for the show.
Oh, okay.
And saying, Bo wants you to all wave back at me.
And get him to wave.
Get him to wave.
That's great.
But I mean, content like that to me is a bit ingenious in terms of being able to engage followers, right?
Right.
Try different things. I mean, it's like Sean and I used to always say, how is it that the guy feeding hot dogs to raccoons on his back porch gets more views than the artist that puts out a really good music video?
That's right.
Right.
And I think it's going back to what you said, like what your daughter, when she gave you a hand and switched everything over, it's better to have 1,000 true fans than a million casual listeners, or just something that's just saying it. You have that. It's the true fans that are true following and engaging that makes the big difference.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, one of the things I like, it's an automatic thing that I have in a couple of my pages now, where you can recognize someone who follows you, and you can put out a quick post saying, "Hey, thanks for following me. Thanks for being my most engaged follower this week."
Right. Is that kind of like the badges on Facebook?
It's kind of like that, but this is more like an acknowledgement post, and it's just thanking people for their support, right?
Nice.
And I'll periodically send out messages to people, by the way, and say, "Hey, thanks for watching the show. It really means a lot to me." And I think from that regard, I end up getting a lot more engagement from people
Right.
watching the show because, this is not about, me. Sometimes it is a soft sell commercial for the record label, but most of the time it's about things that matter to artists and musicians,
Right.
right? It's hard to believe we're already at the top of the hour.
Holy cow. Well, we'd like to thank the Gremlins that were joining us tonight too.
We want to acknowledge the Gremlins tonight.
That's right. Always
Mike,
have to
for
love.
sure. Are you available next week?
I'm gonna see if I can. We'll talk offline about that. I would like to. Depends because Dave comes back on Monday.
Okay.
He's finally back, and we're getting to work because we got a show to do at Eddie's on April. My goodness, I'll put it down in the link below for that.
Okay.
And that'll be our first breakout show that we're going to be doing.
Thanks for joining us, Star, tonight.
Thank you, Star. Thank you so much. So we got that, and then April is going to be when we're really embarking in the tour. So it's going to get really busy. But that doesn't, it was funny. I told Dave this the other day. I was talking to him on the phone how much I enjoy doing this, and I said we're going to be so busy. I'm not going to have time to do it anymore. And he goes, "Are you kidding?" He goes, "You're going to always have time to work with Ken." He says, he goes, "This is when we got to do it. When you're on the road," he goes, "we'll just sit there and just use your phone." And
that would be fun when you're on the road doing it.
Yeah. So, we're definitely going to engage while we're
have your phone and put your earbuds in, man. We could do a show easily.
Absolutely. And I thought to myself, see, there you go. I wasn't thinking out of the box. I'm thinking, I have to be home. So,
that's great. That's great. Yeah. And I'm really glad that Dave's encouraging you to stay involved in what we're doing here because, it's been really, really great having you come on as a regular commentator on the show.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've been really enjoying myself.
Well, I'm glad you are. And we're going to do some more of this stuff. So hopefully you can join me next week. I'm going to continue this conversation next week at any rate. And then we're still trying to nail down a date with Billy Sheehan.
Yep.
To get him on the show. And we talked about that before the show. And maybe you're going to reach out to Billy this time because then we can pick a date that you're available.
Sure. Absolutely. And I'll reach out to him next week. I know he's busy right now with, like he said, he's doing his music shoots and he's been busy with a new band, new project. So, but the guy's always busy. So
if you guys have any ideas about, you can always put them up on my Facebook or send Mike or me a message.
Absolutely.
If there's somebody that you want us to get on the show, we'll do our best to try and put our heads together and see if we know somebody or can find somebody to be on the show. I think we're going to I want to do a show with Walker Crown, have the guys from Walker Crown come on the show. And I want to talk about their writing process.
Nice.
I think that might help other artists think about their writing process as well. You talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So always some great things to learn on the show. And this is not just about plugging things. It's about educating people too.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep. And you never know. There might be some stuff coming down the pipe later on in the future with Dave as well. So we'll talk about that. And
we'll see.
We got lots of cool stuff.
You know me, I'm open to anything and everything.
Lots of cool stuff happening. So, stay tuned for sure.
Stay tuned. Well, that's Michael Muscat. I'm Kenny. You're not. Have a great end of your week, everybody.